With Gamescom 2019 starting this week, time for some quick Cyberpunk 2077 revision. V will pick from Nomad, Corpo or Street Kid life paths, which will heavily influence dialogue options and quest branches. Dialogue options will be influenced by V's techie, solo and netrunner skills, cyberware and attributes. For example, as a Street Kid, if someone's trying to scam you, you might be able to see through their lies, having swindled plenty yourself. Players can mix and match body types, facial features, hairstyles and voices to create exactly the kind of V they want to play. You can give a female character a male voice, for example. The dialogue options will be flexible for a variety of playstyles. For those who just want to complete 2077 as quickly as possible, you can ask questions that get straight to the point. These interactions with Johnny Silverhand can significantly change their relationship. V's body will be divided into slots for cyberware. When they are filled, her humanity levels are at a point where it cannot install more. This prevents V from experiencing cyberpsychosis. V can travel on boats and aerodynes, but she will not control them. There will also be water-related sections which involve swimming. V can participate in activities such as car racing, a shooting range, boxing and martial art fights. The 2013 cinematic teaser trailer involved Katarzyna Danish as the cyber psycho lady with mantis blades. When asked whether she might appear in 2077, Mateusz Tomaszkiewicz commented that he did not want to spoil it. In terms of game over states, this will only happen if V dies, not if she does not finish a quest or let someone die. The Badlands outside of Night City are where the Wraiths, Raffin, Schiff and Aldecaldo nomads reside. It will be fully explorable. V's apartment is critical to the storyline as many events will take place inside it. There will be special collectible items to find throughout the game, which can be stored in the apartment. Cyberware will be available that will allow V to search for secrets. V can have a relationship with multiple NPCs at the same time. A few of these might not be happy if they find out you are cheating on them. At the end of the Fourth Corporate War, Rash Botmos and his data crash virus plunged cyberspace into chaos. In 2077, a black wall created by Netwatch separates the old cyberspace from the local networks. Rogue AIs have been hiding in cyberspace behind the black wall, and no one knows what has been going on in there. Many netrunners have tried to penetrate the wall, but none have returned. This might be where Alt Cunningham resides. There will be situations in 2077 where, for narrative purposes, V must wear specific clothing to progress through the scenario. 2077 will have multiple endings. It was confirmed that there will be no Gwent-style card game in 2077. This does not rule out the option in the future. V can silently grab enemies, then use them as human shields. Dealing with Johnny Silverhand touches upon the topic of transgression. Citizens of Night City cross different borders in terms of what's ethical and where technology should tread in the world. The immortality problem and the dilemma of the construct will be properly treated in 2077. Netrunner V enters a bathtub full of ice because her body becomes a CPU, needing to transfer a lot of power in order to access cyberspace. In Cyberpunk 2020 lore, Rash Botmos was nailed by black ice that placed his heart into continual fibrillation. He barely managed to activate his cryogenic celestial parachute backup system in time. The result froze his body, but left his hyperactive mind still aware and jacked into the net. Consequently, he became a chunk of frozen meat, which enabled him to become the best hacker in the world. Mike Pondsmith joked he would not advise being Johnny Silverhand's girlfriend. V's motorcycle is the Yaiba Kusanagi, a direct reference to the Major from Ghost in the Shell. The life paths alter the feel of 2077 to such an extent that you will need to play the game a minimum of 3 times to experience all the content on offer. Almost all weapons and cyberware will have a non-lethal option, except for the bazooka. Some weapons are so destructive it's just not physically possible to make them non-lethal. Topics such as religion will be covered in a respectable and sensitive manner. It will be an actual reflection of philosophical thinking on religion and not just done for shock value. The No Tell Motel, where V meets Dexter DeShawn, is the place to go for shady deals. It is run by an AI. The AI shown in the cast called Delamain, who runs armored cabs in Night City. V can develop a relationship with Delamain. The cool stat influences gameplay by determining how contained you are under pressure and how well you can aim certain weapons, so impacting upon accuracy. V can install cannon type of cyberware weapons in her cyberarm. If V wants to improve her shooting abilities, she can visit a gun trainer, or to improve fist fighting, visit a gym and train with robots. Mike Pondsmith confirmed he will be in the game, saying that at some point Johnny Silverhand will be playing his guitar and Mike will come out and play his bass. V cannot attack children or NPCs that are directly connected to the critical path narrative. On whether V could go around naked, Philip Weber commented that you can choose different kinds of clothing. There will be a mechanic in the game that allows V to wait, like The Witcher 3. V can upgrade most of her body with cyberware, legs, spine, arms, etc. However, you cannot go as far as the Maelstrom. CDPR joked it would interfere with the sex scenes. Kuroshi Optics have real-time translation features. When you look at other languages, it will auto-translate for you on screen. Many languages will be spoken in Night City. Netrunning and hacking is not a binary thing. It is not about success or failure, rather how well you do it. The more skillful you are at hacking, the more control you will receive over certain things within the network. These engineering abilities will allow a techie-style character to use bots, such as the Flathead MTOD-12 Spiderbot, for a myriad of activities. Marcin Przybyłowicz hinted that a Priscilla-style concert from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will be in 2077. It is possible to complete Cyberpunk 2077 in a pacifist run. V has the choice between executing a lethal or non-lethal takedown. A third option is an environmental takedown, such as throwing an enemy into a garbage chute. Transhumanism and the theme of uploading a human consciousness into machines to attain immortality will feature prominently in 2077. 2077 will have NPCs who have a very rich in-depth relationships for V. Others will be available for one-night stands, or you can also just exchange money for sexual activities. V will be able to explore the desert of California, power plants, abandoned highways, and other items of interest. When unlocking rare outfits due to high street cred, CDPR want to make sure that you can see that. V can modify her weapon significantly with things like a suppressor or a scope, or shoot thermal bullets which light on fire. V can start a conversation with an NPC without leaving their bike or car. Merchants will offer unique items and discounts only for a specified period. As V advances her hacking skills, the options will expand from a simple door opening to controlling cameras or turrets and more. Minigames related to hacking will differ depending on the installation you hack. Increases in performance can only be obtained by a specialist, but minor changes will be possible through use, such as improving Mantis blades by adding poison. The scarcity of objects corresponds to its availability rates in stores. The rarer an object is, the more street cred it requires for a seller to offer it to V. V cannot experience cyberpsychosis, but through quests or scripted events, the impact of cyberpsychosis will be on display. 2077 will embrace the concepts of entropism, kitsch, neo-militarism, and neo-kitsch. Vehicles are equipped with AI. V can summon them to drive to her location. 2077 will cover topics for more mature gamers who want games to make them think. Pavel Sasko feels there is currently a trend of believing that games should not offend anyone, or that game developers should be afraid of covering topics that some individuals might disagree with. 2077 will not shy away from these subjects. There will be heterosexual, homosexual, and bisexual romances in the game. On the topic of demisexuality, Mateusz Tomaszkiewicz commented that it will be up to the player's interpretation when playing and dependent upon a specific character. 2077 has a new Game Plus mode and a hardcore mode that hides the game's UI. Male V is voiced by Gavin Dreyer. Female V is voiced by Sheremy Lay. Enhancing your weapon skill through use will affect weapon handling and animations, so you'll see your character reloading more smoothly as you become more skilled. The gameplay is also affected by how skills and cyberware mix. Nanowire can be used as a laser whip or a physical hacking cable V can throw at enemies at close range to jack into their brains, or causing them to attack themselves or their friends if you have purchased the right software. 2077 does not treat romances as something stat-based that you need to level up to unlock. Rather, it is a narrative situation where who V is and how she interacts with the NPCs determines whether they like her or not. Some NPCs can form form long-lasting romances with V under the right circumstances, and some NPCs can be seduced or can seduce V into one-night stands. V will encounter many characters with their own goals and motivations. Sometimes those goals align with what V is trying to achieve. Depending on the player's decisions, it may spark interest on the side of the NPC. When something is not right, they may choose friendship over a romantic relationship. Adam Badowski stated that nudity will be an important theme in 2077. The body is no longer sacrum, it's profanum. As people modify everything, they are losing their connection to the body, to the meat. And that is why nudity will be shown in many situations. Any censorship would remove the severity and realism to the situation. Stanisław Świecicki thinks confronting issues of the real world is inherent to the genre, allowing for great exploration of social inequality, brutality, decadence, greed, and sexual endeavors. Night City features 6 districts: the city center, where the corporations do their business; Westbrook, the home to the financial elite; Pacifica is a haven for those of criminal disposition, while Santo Domingo is an industrial zone; Hayward and Watson are residential areas that feature strong cultural influences from Latin America and Asia. An aphorism from Mike Pondsmith: in 2077, it is not possible to save the world, it's only possible to save yourself. The soundtrack for 2077 will marry cyber with punk. Cyber centers around sonic texture of the score, with the sound palette being raw, dirty, synthesized, sometimes even futuristic. Punk is all about the attitude of music, rebellious, ballsy, and impulsive. Night City shimmers with colors, and so is the music. CDPR will draw from all sorts of styles to craft a unique mix that drives the narrative and provides additional layers of context to 2077. V will have temporary companions at specific points of the narrative. In some quests, V will be by themselves. In others, V will have one person like Jackie, or even a whole group depending on the choices the player made. The aim is to have a companion at points in the story where CDPR believes it adds something of value. In order to use smart guns, V will need a specific connection to the gun via a piece of cyberware. This will unlock the ability to use the targeting system that will multi-highlight the enemies. Gun modules, tech, smart, or power will allow V to customize weapons. Kyle Rowley stated that V can be played like Major Motokoku Tsunagi, which he described as a cyber ninja. The theme of objectification will feature prominently in 2077. Many times people turn themselves into objects in order to rebel or fit in. The inhabitants of Night City will respond to these attire, tattoos, hairstyles, and physical appearance. 2077 will not use procedural elements in its environment or quests. Every side quest aims to be a complete experience on par with the main quest. Night City gangs will not be comic book-esque villains. They are not abominations that decided for almost no reason to put cyberware in themselves. 2077 is a dark and dangerous world, and some people are not able to make it to the megacorps or simply do not want to join a corporation. It's a human need to seek identity, and some people just gravitate towards the gangs. It touches upon a universal feeling we all have, the need to belong to a group. 2077 has a huge library of facial animations, significantly increasing subtle details in NPC faces. When you first see a street vendor, they will try and sell you something, calling you over to look at their merchandise. The player should be able to see enthusiasm in the vendor's face and body language. Patrick Mills explained that if it makes sense for the player to solve a problem in a certain way, CDPR wants to cater for it. There is a room for emergence. CDPR aimed to make the production values of side quests as close as possible to the critical path. There should be something unique and cool about all of them. Bathrooms will work. V can turn on the water, flush the toilet, or use the shower. Dynamic environments will react to V's presence to assist in enhancing the player's immersion. CDPR are determined to make environments in 2077 as visually impressive when they are untouched as when they are getting blown up without sacrificing performance. The NCPD might might respond to any law breaking done by V. The police have high-end cyberware, as well as advanced weaponry, making them formidable opponents. This includes cyber squads such as C-SWAT and Max TAC. In terms of size, Night City will be similar in scope to Witcher 3, although Witcher 3 was flatter and activities scattered, so to speak. In 2077, the environment will be more vertical and confined in tall explorable buildings or underground areas. Philippe Faber explained that when there is no future, many people will deal with that not through lethargy, but through more and more excess. If you see these individuals in Night City for just a few seconds, their outward appearance may seem jovial. Just scratch off the metaphorical paint, and all the sunshine and palm trees in Night City will suddenly look completely different. There will not be an arbitrary morality meter in 2077. It will be handled more organically by tracking the choices V makes. V cannot kill all NPCs. 2077 has a character-driven narrative. Killing all NPCs would break it, or CDPR would have to spend a significant amount of resources just securing each character's death. That concludes the revision notes for Gamescom. Some details are still subject to change. Thank you for chipping in.